So how do you go on from here? I mean, you kind of hit on some of the realities a minute ago. So how do you go on from here? How do you take the next step?
Yeah, Bill, it's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot of unknowns going into this off season now, and I'm gonna have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything. But it's pretty tough right now, especially thinking about the guys that may or may not be here next year. There's always change. That's the only constant in this business. It's really tough to get to this point. Really, really tough, especially with it only being one bye week in the playoffs. It's a grind just to get to this point, and that makes the finality of it all kind of hit you like a ton of bricks.
What's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here, and we have yet another Aaron Rodgers update. Before we get to the content, just a reminder, I'm giving away a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes to a subscriber that turns on our notifications for this channel. Whether you've done that 5 months ago or you're doing that for the first time today, if you subscribe and hit that bell, you've officially entered for a chance to win a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes. We're going to announce the giveaway winner on the community tab, guys, because when I would announce it in videos in the past, apparently people would miss it, and I want to make sure you guys all see the winners. So make sure you're in tune with the community tab. And now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? This entire Aaron Rodgers situation has been very difficult to decipher, and typically it takes me hours to figure out what's going on in this man's head before I officially give you guys a report. So as a result, I hope you could take a minute to sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm, because it really helps this channel grow. So today's information is very interesting because we got word that not only did Aaron Rodgers get what he initially wanted, but he's also trying to kind of sabotage the Green Bay Packers in a very interesting way. So if you remember, the very first time this report came out, when Adam Schefter said that Aaron Rodgers is extremely disgruntled with the Green Bay Packers, so much so that he does not want to return to the team next year. And initially we thought this was over contract problems in a contract dispute. Brian Gutekunst came out and said that they're trying to work things out within the confines of the salary cap, and they're trying to give Aaron Rodgers the amount that he wants. But we got a report from The Athletic, Bob McGinn from The Athletic, which I personally really trust The Athletic as a source because I get good NBA information from them. But Bob McGinn goes into a bit more detail about what's going on here. So what started with a contract dispute eventually evolved into a situation where Aaron Rodgers said that he will not return so long as the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, Brian Gutekunst, remains the general manager of the team. Now, what's interesting is Aaron Rodgers' agent, David Dunn, which, by the way, was the agent of Carson Palmer, who was in a very similar situation with the Cincinnati Bengals, and ironically is also the agent of Jordan Love, which should be a little bit awkward for David Dunn, said that the straw that broke the camel's back for Aaron Rodgers was the team's decision to release Jake Kumerow in early September, less than 24 hours after Aaron Rodgers said on Sirius XM radio how much he valued having the receiver on the roster. So shortly after the NFL trade deadline in November, Aaron Rodgers told reporters that he didn't want to lobby for a wide receiver because the last time I did that, they ended up in Buffalo. So he's referring to Jake Kumerow over here. But what's really interesting about this is Jake Kumerow played on the Green Bay Packers in 2019. He would get signed to the practice squad of the team in 2020, so this was 2 years ago. That's been bothering Aaron Rodgers about 2 years ago, and apparently is the straw that broke the camel's back, which I don't really trust, because you would think that Jordan Love being drafted by the Green Bay Packers would be the straw that broke the camel's back, because that happened after Jake Kumerow being released. But in addition to the fact that Jake Kumerow got cut, Aaron Rodgers has a huge list of problems that he has with Brian Gutekunst. This includes the fact that the general manager decided to trade up and draft Jordan Love, and the fact that he didn't even inform Aaron Rodgers that he wanted to trade up and select Jordan Love before it happened, and the fact that the Green Bay Packers didn't draft a wide receiver in one of the most wide receiver heavy drafts in NFL history last year. And we covered this in a previous video. By the time the Green Bay Packers would have been on the clock, before they even traded up to number 26 in order to select Jordan Love, they were around at the number 30 pick, and they still could have drafted a player like Michael Pittman Jr., or T. Higgins or KJ Hamler or Chase Claypool. There were a lot of good options there. As a matter of fact, the Green Bay Packers could have taken a flyer on Bryan Edwards or Devin Duvernay. Yeah, they weren't really as remarkable as the other players so far in the NFL draft, but for all you know, they could be headed for a breakout this year. In addition to that, the Green Bay Packers could have easily traded up with a team like the Miami Dolphins in order to select a player like Van Jefferson or Denzel Mims. There were a lot of options there, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Now, in addition to this, McGinn mentions that Aaron Rodgers has been monitoring Tom Brady's remarkable first season in Tampa Bay and how Buccaneers management has involved him, if not catered to him, regarding personnel and other decisions. And we discussed this in yesterday's video. Tom Brady came in, demanded that the Buccaneers trade for Rob Gronkowski, and they did it. Asked for the Buccaneers to draft an offensive lineman, and they did it. Wanted Leonard Fournette on the squad, and the Buccaneers did it. But what was the most fascinating is the Buccaneers took Tom Brady's side over Bruce Arians' side multiple times. When Bruce Arians said that he did not want Antonio Brown on the team, Tom Brady got his way, and Antonio Brown signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it went all the way down to the way that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played football, because Bruce Arians typically runs no pre-snap motion, and that was probably the most difficult part of his offense for Tom Brady and other quarterbacks in order to grasp his offense. But when Tom Brady came out and said, look, we need to have pre-snap motion in order for me to operate, well, Bruce Arians even changed his offensive scheme to cater to Tom Brady. And as a result, not only Aaron Rodgers, but multiple quarterbacks are disgruntled with their current situations. Russell Wilson also saw Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and was lamenting the fact that the Seattle Seahawks didn't treat him the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are treating Tom Brady. Deshaun Watson initially got into a huge spat with the Houston Texans because he wanted to be involved in personnel decisions. He wanted to be at least consulted in regards to the next general manager of the Houston Texans, and he wanted at least his input to be taken when the Houston Texans were looking to hire a brand new head coach. And once they failed to do that, well, Deshaun Watson demanded a trade because, once again, just like Aaron Rodgers, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. You trade DeAndre Hopkins, you trade Jadeveon Clowney, you make a series of horrible decisions that crippled the Houston Texans to the point where JJ Watt decided to leave, and now you just have Deshaun Watson on a team that is below average, still putting up MVP numbers, but despite them putting up MVP numbers, the Houston Texans are not good enough to contend. So things with Aaron Rodgers have gotten so bad that he's literally mocking Brian Gutekunst in group chats with his teammates in Green Bay by referring to the general manager as Jerry Krause. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who Jerry Krause is, I highly recommend you watch The Last Dance, but Jerry Krause was the general manager of the Chicago Bulls during the Michael Jordan era, and he's made some great moves. He drafted Scottie Pippen, he paired him with Michael Jordan, he brought in Dennis Rodman, but the thing that caused disdain between Michael Jordan and Jerry Krause was the fact that Jerry Krause didn't want to extend Michael Jordan's window as much as he possibly could. He wanted to rebuild after the 1997 season, when you could make the argument that that Chicago Bulls team could have kept going for a couple more championships. And as a result, him and Michael Jordan got into a lot of heated discussions where Michael Jordan would openly bully Jerry Krause about his height and his weight, and it was a toxic relationship for the most part. Now, the Packers have been responding to this entire situation in regards to Aaron Rodgers by trying to take the high road and insisting that their sole focus is having Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback in 2021 and beyond. But here's where things get really interesting. You remember that initial report that said that Aaron Rodgers was frustrated because he wanted a contract extension? Well, the Green Bay Packers offered to make the 37-year-old Aaron Rodgers the NFL's highest paid quarterback, even more so than Patrick Mahomes. But Aaron Rodgers seems to not be interested in it at all and actually rejected that deal. But in addition to this, Aaron Rodgers has been actually sabotaging his team, according to Mikerophone, which apparently, according to him, Rodgers has been warning Green Bay's prospective free agent targets since the end of last season that he wasn't expecting to be back with the team. And I honestly think this report is true because if you remember Aaron Rodgers' end of the season exit interview was a lot of people's futures, myself included, are uncertain. And he made sure to make that clear, and he didn't say it with anger in his face. He was just saying it as a matter of fact. but going out and telling prospective free agents, especially prospective free agents that maybe the Green Bay Packers were targeting this offseason, maybe they were looking at a player like Joe Thuney, or they were looking at trying to lure Kyle Long back from retirement, or hell, maybe they wanted to reach out to Corey Davis or Will Fuller or Kenny Golladay, and maybe those players were scared off by Aaron Rodgers saying, hey, I might not be back next season. But this is all speculation. For all you know, the Green Bay Packers didn't approach any of those players. Now, ironically, Brett Favre was asked about this situation and whether or not he thinks Aaron Rodgers will return to the Packers. And according to Brett Favre, he said, I think I know Aaron fairly well. And honestly, I just don't see him coming back and just saying, all right, let's just bury the hatchet, whatever caused the rift, and I'm just going to come back and play because I love the guys. I love the Green Bay fans. I assume he does, but his rift isn't with the fans or the players, it's with the front office. Will he just swallow his pride and come in? Maybe, but I don't see that happening. If there's not a trade, then my gut tells me that he'd rather sit out than play. That's just my gut. There's no reason for me to say that other than that's what my gut is telling me, and I think you guys know Aaron fairly well enough to sort of feel the same way. Brett Favre drew a parallel to what happened with Barry Sanders towards the end of his career with Detroit, and he just left it at that. And we have a video documenting the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre when Aaron Rodgers was a rookie, but here's the thing about this entire situation that just seems a little sketchy to me. Initially, the first report was Aaron Rodgers wanted a new contract. He got offered that new contract reportedly, and he turned that down. Then there was this report of him saying that he's very frustrated with what's going on with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers' decision to trade up for him, but he played this year with no problem or no questions asked. He then said that the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that the Green Bay Packers released Jake Kumerow before they even drafted Jordan Love. Then he said that if Brian Gutekunst doesn't get fired, then he's going to sit out for the entire season or possibly retire. So I guess my question to you guys is, does Aaron Rodgers truly want Brian Gutekunst to be fired, or does he want the Green Bay Packers to listen to him more and construct the roster in his vision, or does he want a contract extension, or does he just want to be traded to a new team? There's a multitude of possibilities in this scenario, and I guess we just have to wait and see how this plays out to really get our answer. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this entire situation, as we definitely will bring you more information as more info comes out. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.